Hello, Nigerians. I welcome you to Beyond the Headlines. I am Tosh Raphael. On this piece, I have exciting news for you. The president-elect in the just held United States election, Donald Trump, met with President Joe Biden at the White House on Wednesday, where Biden congratulated him, acknowledged him as president-elect, and promised a smooth transition of power. And Trump, in response, he said, he acknowledged that politics is tough and often not a very nice world. But today it is a nice world, and he truly appreciates it. This marks the first time both leaders have been in the same room together since their debate. Take a look.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President and Donald, congratulations. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So welcome back.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
What do you hope to accomplish today, Mr. President? President-elect Trump, do you agree with Pete Hegseth? Do you think women should not serve in combat roles? What's top of your list the next time you're in this office, Mr. President-elect? How does it feel to be back?
Definitely need a face for it, and then we pointed to Trump and pointed Biden. We try. Is he doing anything right now? Jeff, anything? Jeff, go.
Thank you, guys. Mr. President,
What an amazing sight to behold. Despite the slander, name-calling, the scorn that both leaders flung at each other during the presidential debate, they are embracing each other today. What are you talking about? What are you talking about democracy? This is democracy at work. It is democracy in action. Don't get me wrong. American democracy has its own flaws. No democracy in the world is perfect. Even the Athenian democracy that is believed to be ideal was still flawed because it excluded women and, slaves from decision making. So there has never been a perfect democracy anywhere in the world. However, democracies are meant to constantly evolve to overcome its challenges. I have no idea what would have happened had Trump not won this election. Maybe there would have been violence more serious than what we had in 2020 when Trump lost the election to Biden. Or maybe Trump would have admitted defeat, since the polls before the election showed a tight race between Trump and Kamala Harris. Nobody exactly is certain about what could have happened. But what I do know is that despite the errors and blunders, the faulty commissions and omissions in Biden's administration, the old man will go down as the greatest hero of democracy, or one of the greatest. Biden stepped down from second-term bid, and now he's meeting with Trump. And in fact, the U.S. election in general offers several lessons for African countries, especially Nigeria. The peaceful transition of power, even between political rivals, underscores importance of respecting democratic norms and institutions. Despite political differences, leaders can come together for the greater good of the country. This unity can help address national challenges more effectively. The U.S. election demonstrated the importance of resolving electoral disputes through legal and constitutional means rather than violence or unrest. Also important is the integrity of the electoral process. Ensuring a transparent and credible electoral process is crucial. The U.S. electoral election highlighted the significance of upholding the integrity of the voting system to achieve a legitimate outcome. Like one commentator analyzed, it is appalling that the 2023 Nigerian election saw a total of 25 million votes cast, with the counting process taking 5 days to complete. In contrast, the U.S. election had 155 million votes cast, and the counting was completed in approximately 10 hours. Very sad indeed. The commentator proceeded to say that this difference points to a crucial lesson. When dishonesty is prioritized, simple tasks become unnecessarily complicated. In Nigeria, the extended duration of vote counting is often attributed to various factors, including logistical challenges, potential electoral malpractice, and the rest of them. These issues always undermine public trust in the electoral process and lead to prolonged uncertainty and tension. On the other hand, the swift counting process in the U.S. election demonstrates the importance of transparency, efficiency, and integrity in the system. A well-organized and honest approach to elections can ensure that results are delivered promptly, fostering confidence in the democratic process. Now let's come down to our country, my country, Nigeria, where the former Secretary General of Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Anyaoku, has made a bold statement on Wednesday that has now stirred controversy. Chief Anyaoku attended the launch ceremony of the book, The Noble Academic and Patriot, a biography of Emeritus Professor Akinjide Osuntokun, held at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs in Victoria Island, Lagos. The 91-year-old scholar and elder statesman was the chairman of the occasion, and so he was in a fearless footing to make this statement, which may not appeal to some politicians. He said that no leader, no matter how well-meaning and good-hearted, can lead Nigeria to the promised land with the current 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now let me quote him. He said, "To those who think that the trouble with Nigeria today is political leadership, I would say that as long as we have the 1999 Constitution as our grand norm, not even Angel Gabriel or Malachi Gabriel as leaders can successfully tackle the divisiveness, the underperforming economy with the resultant poverty, the insecurity, the humongous corruption, and the other major challenges currently facing Nigeria. I start from the clearly undeniable fact that Nigeria, like many other countries across the world, is a pluralistic country, that is, a country whose population consists of groups of peoples long established in their separate geographical areas with different histories, cultures, languages, and religions. The universal lesson is that pluralistic countries which have survived as single political entities in unity and progress are those that address their pluralism, that is, their diversity, with genuine federal constitutions. Examples of such countries are India, Canada, and Switzerland. I believe, therefore, that if our pluralistic Nigeria is to achieve truly unity and political stability and to successfully tackle the serious challenges that the country currently faces, it must have a truly federal constitution." End of quote. Wow. Chief Emeka Anyaoku is one man who is highly revered nationally and internationally as a brilliant, intelligent, and outstanding figure. He speaks gently and slowly when he speaks, but his words are full of insights, innovation, and wisdom. However, not many politicians will agree with him, and it is interesting that one of these politicians also attended the ceremony. He is no other person than the former governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi was present at the event where his presence was acknowledged, and later he made this remark on the occasion. Obi remarked that our nation often celebrates individuals who do not embody our best values, making it truly refreshing to honor someone like Professor Osuntokun. He noted that it is no surprise people are reluctant to pursue academic careers in a society where thugs are celebrated and rewarded more generously than educators. Take a listen.
He is also a former governor. You know him well. Mr. Peter Obi. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm very sure a lot of people are itching to see you, sir. Mr. Peter Obi, people didn't see you, but please. Thank you very much. All right, sir. We also have the...
All we do today is the great thoughts So it's good that we're celebrating a professor. And thank you, Prof. Wonderful work. As some of your students have said, I told my brother John, I said I will join in coming to learn from you, because if you have taught this wonderful people who spoke about it today, and my dear father, His Excellency Anyaoku is here, said very good things. We will all be part of it. All I can say is that since education is involved, and Prof, be rest assured, I will participate. This is what we want to celebrate, because that's what is lacking in our society today. When NUC Secretary General said they are looking for PhD people to teach in our universities, I called him and said, why do you want anybody to go and to do PhD? When you don't pay them and you pay tops 100 times what people PhD earn, who will go and it's better for them to learn to be tough. So I will celebrate you. I will be part of it. I assure the organizers you will see. But now I'm going to take about 10 books, but not the books. The most important is what that thing they say we are going to do. Because we want people who are supposed to be role models to be celebrated. We are choosing the least in us to be our role model, and that's destroying our society. Congrats, Prof. Thank you, and we'll be part of celebrating you.
Now, moving forward, Obi even shook hands with Chief Emeka Anyaoku. Perhaps Chief Anyaoku said what he said when he saw Peter Obi in the audience. In several of his interviews, Mr. Obi had boldly dismissed the idea that the problem of Nigeria is not the 1999 Constitution. Instead, he contends that leadership is the problem.
This is between all we've been saying for 28 years in leadership. I've done it in a small place called Anambra State. If the leader is the character, is competent, is committed, and compassionate, he will deal with it. And where we are in Nigeria, nobody can. And he mentioned something, which I said to Labour Party every day.
By Obi's perspective, everything needed to make Nigeria work is already enshrined in the Constitution, but our leaders have deliberately not been harnessing these constitutional advantages to transform the country. Very sad indeed. Now you have two great leaders in persons of Chief Anyaoku and Mr. Obi who have opposing mind frames concerning Nigeria's development. But my take on this is that there is always a way to build an inclusivity around these issues. Incontestably, the majority of Nigerians believe there is a leadership gap in the country, or you may call it governance failure. That is why Nigerians across the country came together under obedient movement and rallied behind Peter Obi, because he has a people-centered ideas that conventional politicians do not have, something like frugality and financial management. However, there also exist some errors and inconsistencies in the Nigerian constitution that need to be urgently addressed. Take, for instance, the unequal geographies among the regions in the country, specially constructed to favor one region against the other. Then you also talk about the issues of state police, which has become popular because of the scary intensity of insecurity in our country. You also have the rise of various freedom and terror groups agitating for political independence. So I believe there are several issues in the Constitution that needs urgent attention. Nonetheless, Peter Obi believes that all these problems are the result of bad governance. If you address bad governance issues, these agitations will cease. Anyway, ideas, they say, rule the world. We should endeavor to have a country where superior ideas are allowed to prevail over violence, over tribalism, over nepotism, and the rest of them. That's all I have for you on Beyond the Headlines. I am Tochukwu Raphael. If you like this video, do not hesitate to subscribe to the Diaspora Digital Media for more exciting stories. Thank you.